Hello, I'm the Cinematic Nutcase. I'm doing this review against my own free will. Now, when you think of badass villains, who comes to mind? Darth Vader, Frollo, Firelord Ozai, and many recognizable others. These people are the dark influences of entertainment who show us what happens to those who travel the dark side and oppose the forces of good to the nth degree. That's why this video isn't about them. Oh no, this is about the underrated villains. The villains who are just as cool or even more so than the ones we tremble in fear from, but never hear about for some reason. This is the top 10 underrated villains.
It's a brand new day and the sun is high. All the birds are singing that you're gonna die. How I hesitated, now I wonder why. It's a brand new day.
Number 10. Van Pelt from Jumanji. This movie scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. And can you really blame me? There were monkeys, rubber spiders, and freaking huge mosquitoes who have malaria on steroids. But there's one thing in particular that everybody remembers. Van Pelt, whose sole purpose in this movie is to hunt down Robin Williams, chasing him and the rest of the main cast throughout the entire movie before eventually getting sucked back into the game. One thing I don't remember them explaining in the movie was why Van Pelt hated Robin so much. Did he see the movie Jack? But besides that, there's also a bit of subtlety with this guy.
Damn.
Let's listen to the Jumanji inscription, shall we?
Hunt from the darkness and wild. Makes you feel just like a child.
And for those of you who don't know, the actor who plays Van Pelt is the same actor who plays Robin's father earlier in the movie. And if my memory serves well, they weren't on the best of terms. And after Robin's final confrontation with Pelt, he returns to 1969, makes up with his father, and lives a happy, better life. So you could say this character was awesome because of A, the touching ending that his actions cause, or B, his symbolism! Number 9. The League of Evil Exes from Scott Pilgrim. Each of these characters has a defined personality and enough screen time to leave a permanent impression, except for these guys. But tossing them aside, these characters were awesome, from the flamboyant Matthew Patel to the bi-furious half-ninja Roxy Richter, played by Mae Whitman of all people.
You punched me in the boob. Prepare to die, obviously.
I think the reason why these guys are so low on the list is because, while these villains are pure win, they never clearly explain why they want to kill Scott. I know Gideon wanted Ramona back, but that doesn't really explain much.
Was that not clear?
Guys, let's be honest. If some drunk asshole called you up and told you to completely destroy some poor schmuck who's dating an ex-girlfriend of yours, an ex-girlfriend who broke your heart, by the way, who would you be more willing to kill? The poor bastard you don't even know? Or the bitch who stuck your heart in half like a Reese's stick? But aside from their poor motivation, these guys are badass. The League of Evil Exes. Because pirates are in this year. Number 8. White Goodman from Dodgeball. I never watched this movie, and I never cared. So here's my Script Monkey's thoughts on the subject.
Ben Stiller's sometimes known for being rather tame in his movies when he doesn't need to be, always being the straight man for the way funnier jokes. But in this movie, I think someone forgot to tell him that because he is really crazy in this role. He plays White Goodman, the narcissistic owner of Globo Gym, who joins a dodgeball tournament to buy out Vince Vaughn's gym.
Really think you can come in here and buy me out, White? You're a lot dumber than I thought.
Oh, I don't think I'm a lot dumber than you thought that I thought I was once.
I think what makes him an effective and credible villain is how over-the-top his mannerisms are and how not Ben Stiller he is in this movie. And how as much he doesn't really chew the scenery as much as he does devour it whole.
Look, let's not get hung up on details here, okay? Look, we're both professionals.
Oh, really? Professionals? Last I heard, my gym makes money. Yours doesn't. My gym's worth over $4 million. Your gym isn't worth 4.
See, if the normal Ben Stiller had said those lines, you probably would have found them disinteresting. But with this version, you totally buy it. Speaking of mannerisms, where do you think Lucas Lee got his speech pattern?
What's up? How's life? He seems nice.
We are the Globo Gym Purple Cobras. And we will rock you.
White Goodman. Only a character this crazy could be so awesome.
Number 7. Fang from Balls of Fury. Again, never watched it, never cared. Take it away, word slave!
At first, I didn't want to see this movie. The concept was kind of weird, I had no idea who any of the cast were, and I thought it was just another movie George Lopez was doing before he became a kid's movie whore. But 3 words sold it for me. Christopher freaking Walken. Only the master of sudden whispers and random pauses could make a tournament of ping pong a fight for your life.
Killed him.
Well, duh. What part of sudden death didn't you understand?
Walken plays Feng, a Chinese gunrunner who uses his life-or-death ping pong games as a cover for his operation. And though I love his performance in this, he does lose a few points for being beaten by the missing child of Jonah Hill and Jack Black, and a blind, not Mr. Miyagi. And while he can be considered a comedic villain, he does have a few traits that make him a bit of a psychopath. Killing without a second thought, not completely thinking through his plans, going into a death match even though he knows he's gonna die, and forcing players to play against their own free will even when they have a broken arm. Though I do love how Walken tries to treat this as a serious, dramatic performance. I mean, what's not serious about a Chinese white man who traffics guns using a ping pong tournament?
What now?
Feng, if you weren't scared of ping pong before, you soon will be.
Number 6, the Kurgan from Highlander. Let's go down the line, shall we? He got McLeod banished from his clan, killed his friends in modern times, raped his wife, and killed Sean Connery. And why does he do this?
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Just because he felt like it. If all that stuff wasn't enough proof, here's the thing that sealed it for me. This smile is so awesome it still gives me shivers. It's a smile that says, yeah, you killed me, so what, I'll get better. The Kurgan. He's a flamboyant Scotsman murdering rapist. Don't look at me, I didn't write this crap.
Hey!
What was that?
Hey! I'm talking to you!
What are you doing on screen?
I'm sick of you bad-mouthing my writing, you stupid Yakamite.
Did you just quote iCarly?
No. Wait a minute, this isn't about me, this is about you and the polar bear that's about to maul your face off!
Wait, what?
Have fun with that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm writing the sequel to Epic Mickey. Yes, yes, die, Oswald, die! Mickey has everything and you have nothing! My God, I might be insane with power.
Well, you got more screen time than I wanted. Number 5. Dr. Robotnik from Sonic SAT-AM. What I really like about this incarnation of the famous Doctor is that, unlike most of his other versions, this one isn't just some comic foil. He actually wants to put Sonic's head on a frickin' pike. And he almost succeeds on several occasions. But what really shows his evil is just the impact of his situation. Every time you think this guy is just a wimp, you remember that this guy has pretty much ravaged the planet and turned its inhabitants into robotic slaves, and if that's not badass, I don't know what is. Though it does raise the question of how he was able to take over the entire planet without any resistance whatsoever until after he was already done. Oh, look at that. A giant fleet of ships roboticizing everything we know and love. Must be Tuesday. Number 4. The Commando Elite from Small Soldiers. Let's go down another line, shall we? They build MacGyver-esque tanks out of garage tools, weaponized Barbie dolls, kidnap and endanger a lot of the main characters, and pretty much caused an all-out war on the Abernathy front lawn. I think they did more, but I'm pretty sure you stopped caring after weaponized Barbie dolls! Installed with the X-1000 chip, the Commando Elite have one mission.
Destroy the Gorgonite enemy, defeat him! Yes, sir! There will be no mercy.
And as you've heard earlier, they will do anything to complete the mission. What's amazing about these characters is the ingenuity they possess, pretty much creating a mad scientist lab in a fully stocked war garage with scraps of metal and a few bee batteries. And let's not forget the man-toy thing leading the commandos, Major Chip Hazard, voiced by Tommy Lee frickin' Jones, who, due to his permanent drill sergeant attitude, turns these action figures from a silly idea to a badass fighting force. The Commando Elite.
Everything else is just a toy.
Number 3. Cat R. Wall from Five Will Goes West. Voiced by John Cleese, this guy is like the bizarro Ratigan. Whereas Ratigan was on the verge of madness and rage a great deal of the movie, Cat R. Wall was able to stay subtle and in check for about 98% of the movie, only snapping when his plans were ruined, and even then it's only annoyance.
Humans.
I think my favorite part is when Cat R. Wall gives a speech about building a new world in the West, and the mice, who always say about how bad cats are, don't even hesitate to support his ideals.
Will you help me build this world?
And what I think is a really defining character moment is during Tanya's song, where he actually tears up and dances with her. It shows that while he does want to kill and eat most of the other mice, he still has a heart and is capable of emotions other than greed and hate, unlike many others on this list. But that still doesn't deteriorate from his subtle villainy. Cat Wall, proving classy, subtle people can still be badass. Number 2. Zira from Lion King 2. Scar isn't exactly the best Disney villain. The reason why I say that is because all he really did was whine and complain and acted devious only like 3 times in the whole frickin' movie. And let's be honest, the only thing he actually did was kill Mufasa. Now, granted, that's a really good plot point, but after that, the hyenas did most of the work. But then came Zira, and my god, is she an upgrade. She was intelligent, vicious, bloodthirsty, and vengeful. Hell, she was one step away from being a war general, and she was actually threatening at some points.
Now, the closer Kovu gets to the daughter, the closer he gets to Simba. And once he has Simba alone...
But what really sold me was her song. Quick comparison check. This is Be Prepared.
It's clear from your vacant expression, the lights are not all on upstairs.
But we are talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares.
And this is my lullaby.
The melody of angry growls, a counterpoint of painful howls. Yeah! A symphony of death, oh my! That's my lullaby!
Scar's song is about the hyenas. Zira's song is about how death, anguish, and despair is music to her ears. I think we're done.
It's a brand new me, I got no remorse. Now the water's rising, but I know the course. I'm gonna shock the world, gonna show.
And the number 1 most underrated badass villain is Thrax from Osmosis Jones. Let's look at this guy's first scene, shall we?
Holy spit!
Careful. I'm contagious. Ow.
Yeah, his first scene and he brutally murders an innocent cell person thing. And it doesn't stop there. This guy is on a killing spree throughout the entire frickin' movie. Funnily enough, Thrax is voiced by Lawrence Fishburne, and this is the only movie you will ever see him act gangsta.
This cat was sick before I even got here.
So what about the cop and the pill?
Well, let's just say if they give us a problem. Fire! Bow, 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 bow.
But what really is the icing on the cake of this character is that unlike other villains, like Anton or the Joker, who think they have to be murdering psychopaths, Thrax's purpose in life is to cause death. He is the physical representation of the Scarlet Virus, a sickness that kills the victim by overheating the body to extreme temperatures. And Frank isn't the first. He's killed a lot of other people, as he explains in detail.
You see this? This here little DNA bead comes from a little girl in Riverside, California. Didn't like to wash her hands. Took me 3 whole weeks. And this one, nice lady in Detroit, Motown, 6 days flat. Then there's this old guy in Philly. I killed him in 72 hours. Yeah, I'm getting better as I go along, baby, but the problem is I never set a record. Until my man Frank, that is. I'm gonna take him down in 48 hours. Get my own chapter in the medical books.
Better spell my name right.
But this guy really is awesome, bringing swag and class, brutality and intelligence to the pits of Frank himself. Thrax, for the love of God, wash your hands.
They gotta turn up the heat in here.
Well, that was fun. I'm sorry if this felt rushed, because honestly it was. But I wanted to get to a special review of an all-time classic Miyazaki film that you all know and love. Warriors of the Wind. See you next time for an actual review. Ah, crap, another polar bear!